20 most incredible U.S. military photos. Number 20. Coast Guard Aurora. This remarkable photo was taken during the Northern Lights and shows a quick-moving cutter Healy found in the southern part of the Arctic Ocean. It might be a bit cold up there, but the members of the Coast Guard will get the amazing opportunity to see the Northern Lights. Number 19. M1A2 Abrams. The M1 Abrams main battle tank is the most commonly used tank by the U.S. military. It reaches a maximum speed of 42 miles per hour off-road. It runs on a 1,500 horsepower gas turbine engine. It's the most modern battle tank in the world, equipped with top-of-the-line technology and weapons. In this photo, you see the M1A2 Abrams tank fire from its 120mm smoothbore cannon while it's in the desert in Jordan in 2015. It was part of a live-fire training exercise. Some describe it as a computer in an armored box and a highly sophisticated war machine. Number 18. F-15 SA. This F-15 was delivered to Saudi Arabia to fulfill an order of 84 newly built F-15 Eagles from the U.S., and it has been a primary fighter jet of the U.S. Air Force. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to hand off this many powerful jets over to them. It features a missile launch detonation system, infrared search, and track system known as Tiger Eyes. It also features powerful engines that can put out 30,000 pounds of thrust on each side, flying at speeds about 1,900 miles per hour. At this rate, you can fly from New York to LA in about an hour and a half. Number 17. U.S. Thunderbirds. The U.S. Air Force displays their power and precise flying skills while flying over Niagara Falls during a demonstration from Buffalo. The U.S. Thunderbirds are the third oldest formal aerobatic fighting plane group and rival to the Blue Angels. They normally use a Lockheed Martin F-16, but slightly modified in order to pull off the amazing stunts. Number 16. Coast Guard Rescue Swimmers. These Coast Guard swimmers are among some of the nation's finest, trained to save lives of boaters or other stranded individuals lost at sea. This photo here was taken near Sitka, Alaska, and jumping from an HH-60 Jayhawk helicopter during a demonstration following Alaska Day. The combination of the sea, the skyline, and the trained diver makes this an incredible photo. Number 15. U.S. Wolff. Despite the U.S. Navy not having a great presence in the Arctic Sea, this nuclear submarine called the Wolff can spend months undersea and then surface near the North Pole. This photo here displays one of the U.S. Wolffs doing just that, with some of the crew on deck getting a breath of chilly air. Its limitless range makes it perfect for exploring the deep seas. It really only needs to be docked in order to re-up on supplies. Number 14. V22 Osprey. This one-of-a-kind U.S. military aircraft seems to be looking very much like a hybrid between a helicopter and an airplane. It's used by the Marines, Air Force, U.S. Coast Guard, and Navy. This multi-use tilt-rotor aircraft can take off and land vertically. In this photo, you can see how it's useful to the Navy, since it can land fairly easily on a small runway. It's often deployed in transportation and medevac operations for numerous fronts. It appears as if it's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Number 13. Hovercrafts. Join the U.S. Navy and you might get the chance to ride one of these hovercrafts. Known as the LCAC or Landing Craft Air Cushion, this can travel smoothly on both land and sea. Here in this photo, you can see the LCAC land on Virginia Beach, Virginia, during the 2015 Patriotic Festival. It would be nice to have a personal hovercraft, but this one cost taxpayers $27 million. Hovercrafts use fans, which pushes airflow underneath the hovercraft into a smooth cushion below, which allows it to appear to float. This makes for an effective amphibious assault vehicle and transporting heavy equipment. Number 12. American Sherman tanks. Many claim that American Sherman tanks were only suicide candidates against the German Panzer tank. Although the US tanks were quite inferior to the Germans' tanks during World War II, the Germans weren't able to keep up with the sheer numbers of General Patton's army in the Battle of the Bulge. Fighting in icy conditions also appeared to be difficult for the Shermans, as you can tell from this photo. This one here slid off an icy road in the Ardennes forest. Number 11. Daily upkeep. Good hygiene by U.S. soldiers has been a well-kept tradition even since the days of World War II. This man takes a little time out of his day and shaves in the freezing cold weather while fighting in the Battle of the Bulge. If you might die, you might as well go down looking good. Number 10. D-Day landings. In order to reach European soil and liberate France, the Allies needed to storm the beaches of Normandy, and this photo was taken the morning of June 6, 1944, of the disembarkment of America's army on Omaha Beach. Many of this infantry unit was gunned down by the vicious MG-42 machine gun, and 2/3 of them became casualties. You can only imagine the thoughts going through their head, and the sheer bravery that must have been overtaking them at this moment. Number 9. U.S. paratroopers. Attacking the Germans during amphibious assaults weren't the only way Americans and their allies could help liberate Europe from Nazi regime. They came from the air too. It's hard to imagine being a general and willing to plan to drop 35,000 soldiers behind enemy lines from planes. At the time during World War II, when this photo was taken, it must have felt like quite the bold move to make. After the beachhead was secured in Normandy, people began falling from the sky at unprecedented levels. Number 8. Watch out! Soldiers aren't the only things falling from planes with parachutes. In this photo, we see MC-130J Commando 2 drop a maritime craft aerial delivery system for a military training exercise in Mexico City. Number 7. Refueling time. In this photo, over the Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington, this C-17 Glowmaster III is getting refueled in midair by basically a flying gas station. The refueling wing KC-135 provided enough fuel to keep this plane in the air. If you thought flying a plane was difficult enough, imagine what these pilots have to go through during training in order to execute a difficult procedure like this. Number 6. Destroyed Iraqi tank. This Iraqi T-55A tank stood no chance against the brute American fighting power. This U.S. Navy commander stands next to the charred tank, almost like a hunter posing with its prey. This tank was destroyed during Operation Desert Storm and is left lying in the desert outside Kuwait City. Number 5. Fighter jets. Did this jet just drop a nuclear bomb? What do you think could have possibly caused all this smoke? Well, it turns out this F-15C from the National Guard is actually doing surveillance on a California fire cloud. One of the other fighter pilots captured this image of the pilot seemingly getting engulfed by the smoke clouds. Number 4. The USS Wisconsin. This American battleship fires its powerful 16-inch cannons during the Operation Desert Storm. And you can see how much firepower it has. It hadn't fired its guns in a battle since 1952, and despite it not being a recently made ship, you can clearly tell it's capable of some serious damage. The firing of her cannons were to take out targets on the ground, and not at other naval ships in this photo. Number 3. Gulf War female soldier. Female soldiers on the front lines of battle didn't happen too often until the Gulf War in the early 1990s. Tracy Burgett was part of the military police company when this photo was taken. She's manning a 7.62mm machine gun from a Humvee, and she's ready to kick some serious butt during Operation Desert Shield. Number 2. Civil War disguise. The gender divide didn't always keep women off the battlefields in a few cases. They just needed a few tricks up their sleeves if they wanted to participate. The photo here is of Union cavalryman Jack Williams, but he had a secret he wasn't telling everyone. His name is actually Frances Clowlin, and she's a mother of 3 from Illinois. She was described as a hard-drinking, tobacco-chewing, tough son of a gun who fought in 18 battles, and no one had a clue. And number 1. Iwo Jima. No other American military photo taken seems to represent American victory more than the one taken after Iwo Jima. Americans suffered a high amount of casualties trying to capture this island as part of their island hopping strategy in World War II. The United States Marines finally fought their way bravely to the top of Mount Suribachi, a 546-foot-high dormant volcano, and then raised the American flag proudly in celebration. Any suggestions on future videos? Leave us your idea in the comments section, and maybe we'll feature it in an upcoming video.